So I did a video yesterday where I was actually having a little bit of fun with a friend on a video that he made. A buddy of mine, Chris Igo Realty. So his channel is Chris Igo, or youtube.com/ at Chris Igo 1, the number one. So ChrisIgoe number one. And he's a real estate agent professional in Boynton Beach area, South Florida, on the East Coast, the Atlantic side. And it was just, my reaction to a video that he posted about how the housing market is going to crash. Specifically, the Florida housing market is going to crash. Now, I understand that with YouTube, oftentimes titles and thumbnails get a little bit confusing, especially with the video that I put up about leaving Florida. And a lot of folks jumped in there and were very opinionated about leaving Florida. In fact, even in this video reaction I did yesterday on Chris's video, I made a reference to another video that he created where he was talking about, or more so joking about, leaving Florida. And folks kind of, they have choice words for people in and out of the state of Florida. And ultimately, I'll let you guys check them out. You guys let me know what you think. Now, granted, with that being said, I actually did look at his analytics because I am a manager of his channel, and noticed that not only did it draw in some harsh opinions about leaving Florida, or the reasons why you would leave Florida, but it also brought in a fair amount of new subscribers and viewers to the channel. So it was a win-win in the end. However, this is one of the many things that I'm noticing happening with YouTube, and how not to use the platform in a meaningful and impactful way of producing and promoting change. So I was looking at these, the latest today from Business Insider, Personal Finance. And it says that mortgage interest rates today, September 2023, it says that mortgage rates stay high and could fall soon. And this has, a lot to do with what Chris was talking about in his video about his particular area and the builders controlling supply, and ultimately how prices are going to continue to go up. And more than likely, the crash is going to occur as a result of seeing people stretched beyond their limits to the point of which now they're not making their credit card payments anymore, which is ultimately then going to have a trickle down effect into not making mortgage payments, or having to be forced to sell in a distressed sale situation, trying to capture whatever, any equity that they could possibly have in their property, while also trying to entice and incentivize potential buyers to engage in going under contract with interest rates being so high. Now, interestingly enough, Chris will tell this a whole lot better than me because this is his life in his profession. But seemingly, depending on certain markets, interest rates don't matter because most of these buyers are cash. But I did want to talk about the rates today and what not to do when you're trying to sell real estate in this potential housing market crash, and how it relates to YouTube, as well as a few other things I've noticed about YouTube here recently. But it says that the average 30-year mortgage rate remains above 7% for most of last week, but they could start decreasing soon as inflation continues to slow. Possibly. And the Fed has already talked about lowering interest rates next year. And I made a video about this. Not very many people watched it, and I understand, because it doesn't necessarily have the same glamour and allure as potential housing market crash, or, border crisis, or stores closing, or empty shelves, or impending doom, or catastrophic collapse, or whatever it may be. Yeah, I get it. I understand. No harm, no foul. You didn't watch, you didn't see it. Cool. However, if you did see it or are interested in buying real estate, buying a home in Florida or any other state for that matter, Business Insider has a list of mortgage companies here. Not saying they're good, not saying they're bad, but I do have a friend of mine who is actually a mortgage broker with New American Funding, and he has done all of my deals, all of them. And he has never, he's done an amazing job every single time, which has been 3 deals for me and several for friends and family. And he actually started with Wells Fargo, but he has since moved on to New American Funding, and I think they do a great job. So if anybody wants a phone number or an email address for a mortgage broker to submit an application for pre-approval, then by all means reach out and let me know. But it says here that in August, the existing home sales inched down a bit on a monthly basis and fell 15.3% year over year. According to the National Association of Realtors, sky-high mortgage rates have kept many would-be buyers on the sidelines this year. So I would say that may somewhat include us. But again, I made a video like over a year ago, a little over a year ago probably, where I was actually having this conversation with you guys here in a cabana at the pool and discussing how we would be interested in buying if the price was right, if the property was right, and depending on interest rates, financing, or paying cash. Same rules apply. The prices are not really where we want them to be. Granted, we are seeing a little bit of fluctuation and some pricing coming down, but overall, the prices are still actually trending up. And with that, interest rates are higher than we would prefer, and also the new nuances around Florida homeowner insurance has been an added variable to the mix. And we're going to talk about the data and the stats and the information here being provided in just a moment about something that I saw yesterday that I don't agree with. Okay. And it says that even with fewer buyers competing over existing inventory, supply remains extremely constrained. This has pushed home prices up 3.9% year over year. Again, home prices continue to climb in an instance where supply is limited in relation to demand. Just like what Chris was saying, as far as in his hyper-local market, how the home builders are controlling the supply to control the demand or to, keep the demand high with supply low and have the ability to continuously push pricing up. And it says that home prices continue to march higher despite lower home sales. And it's interesting that, you would think, all right, less sales. This was a prediction early on. All right, less sales. And, the Fed, too. So the Fed, basically, we're going to raise interest rates. We're going to soften the economy. We're going to shrink household balance sheets. We're going to cut jobs, basically, is what they wanted to do. Thinking that would then create trigger a response in the economy, in the market, to then see increased competition amongst sellers because money was less available or more expensive to borrow. And that didn't work. So even though there is less in sales, there are higher prices. And this all comes down to supply and demand. And it says that the supply needs to essentially double to moderate home price gains. But with the builders controlling supply, I don't see that happening. And with the cost of borrowing being so high, I don't see that happening. So to see supply double, man. I mean, supply would have to double through some other form, and it wouldn't be through new construction. It would be through distressed sales, foreclosures, or any other negative impact to the housing market, which would potentially be the crash. But the crash would really come from existing owners allowing opportune investors a chance to get in and buy. And the crash would affect the homeowners and not so much the housing market, because the market would still trade, real estate would still trade. So it says that once mortgage rates start to fall, home prices could rise even faster in response to increased competition over such limited inventory, which is what we saw happen at the beginning of 2020 or middle of 2020 when interest rates started dropping. And as interest rates dropped, demand increased because borrowing was less expensive. However, home prices go up when interest rates go down, because essentially it's like leveling off, and the home sellers will ultimately try to keep your payment the same while inching up their profitability on these sales. So it's here on Personal Finance on Business Insider. If you guys want a link, let me know. But what I'm seeing is actually unfortunate because YouTube is taking a turn for the worst. Maybe YouTube is going to step in and introduce some meaningful and impactful change in how content is being created or shared or recommended or pushed, because I think it's going the wrong way. So, I was talking to Chris yesterday after making this video, and we were chatting about some of the comments that he received on the video that I reacted to. Now, my reaction to Chris's video didn't even really include any of Chris's video, I don't think. Maybe a screenshot or two. Whereas you guys know that I have made mention before about how a lot of these channels now are reaction channels that don't actually react to content. They literally just play a small clip of it in the corner and they just stand there and stare at it. To me, that's not a reaction, but YouTube's allowing it. Meanwhile, YouTube's also demonetizing channels like Kingdom Reacts for actually reacting to content. So blows my mind how this works. But also, I watched today, I was surprised to see that Jason Derulo is a YouTube content creator who does the same thing on YouTube Shorts and is essentially not really reacting to it. And he's just really stealing other content creators' hard work that has proven to be viral worthy and of interest of a majority of viewers and or the algorithm, and then just putting a video clip of himself that he continuously reuses over and over again to pretend like he's reacting to the video, only to be able to produce hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in profit by literally doing almost nothing and riding the coattails and piggybacking off of other creators' hard work, stealing their content and not even giving them credit for it. That's kind of shady if you ask me. But we're going to take this a step further because, again, Chris and I were having a conversation yesterday after he got done laughing hysterically about my video reaction to his, which was intentional to be funny and humorous and us both get a good laugh out of it, but also try to share information and educate and empower others with knowledge and information to make better decisions and protect themselves and prepare for this huge economic and financial shit show that is actually happening, but is about to probably get worse here soon. And he was telling me about some comments that he received on that video. And unfortunately, they were from another potential real estate agent who was basically just being a troll in Chris's video comment section, attacking and harassing other viewers and questioning where they got their information from, where they got their data from, where they got their numbers from. And he's then begins to talk himself up about, his net worth and, what vehicles he drives and this, that, and the other. And this is not how you go about selling real estate. This is not how you go about building a brand. This is not how you go about growing a channel, okay? So much like these folks who are reacting to videos and basically stealing content, which is unfortunate because reactionary videos can actually be funny when you add enough to it to create transformative change to really entertain your audience based on somebody else's work, which can be a lot of fun and actually also create and inspire collaboration between the two. But in the flip side, if we're going to use this as another tactic and strategy to grow your channel, which is by ranking up in the comment section and drawing attention to yourself, well, this is equally just as bad as another real estate agent out there, or just licensed agent, because I'm going to use air quotes as I use the term content creator loosely. We're going to use the term real estate agent loosely here, is only leveraging other agents in his market potentially, or just in general, who are gaining the audience's attention by providing value, only to show up to be a nuisance and be annoying, but also to stand out. For whatever reason it may be, knowing that they will possibly attract some folks to their page or their channel to potentially lure them in to be a client and go under contract with them on a potential deal. Look, folks, if you want to build a YouTube channel, do it the right way. Do it the honest way. Have some integrity, okay? And most importantly, make sure you watch my videos all the way to the end. Give them a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys real soon.